All right, everybody, this is Emar Substitute, the Sports Inquirer, and we're happy to be joined once again by Georgia State women's tennis head coach, Hannah Keeling. Hannah, thank you for joining us. We'll get to the adjustment in the schedule, just with the way things are. But before we get to that, you've concluded the non-conference portion of your schedule, 7 wins so far on the year. Overall impressions of how the first really month and a half of the season has been for the Panthers.
Well, thank you for having me again. It's always great to be on here. We just finished preseason, and I think it's been a pretty successful preseason for us, especially the second half of the preseason. Each week we've got better as a team. Individually, they're getting fitter, so it's just helping us prepare and get strong right before we get into the conference, which was the overall goal with the preseason, to continuously build. So we just had 2 good matches last weekend. So I'm hoping that they'll be ready for the conference coming up.
Yeah, and we've spoken before about just having a players game be in comfortable state and maybe rotating some double teams and getting everyone some singles matches. Were you able to achieve that even with the injuries and just other things that you've been dealing with?
Yeah, I think right now we're pretty set for doubles for this weekend. I feel confident in our doubles teams, and we did some change arounds, but as everybody is becoming injury free and getting stronger, I can set the doubles teams right for this weekend. And the good thing about this team is that I feel like I'm quite deep with my players. So even if there is a change up, anyone is ready to step in and fill that spot. So that's one good thing that we have.
And then one player that's working her way back into the lineup and just trying to get into form is Eva. I always mess it up. Eva Chivu, the senior from Romania. We spoke with her earlier. You go to our site and you'll be able to see that interview. But what about her development? She said she's been dealing with some injuries in the with her elbow in the preseason, but she's been able to play in some doubles matches and even in your number one singles spot. So how is she
Yep.
developing, getting ready for conference season?
Yeah, I mean, Eva is definitely a key part to our lineup, and she has been dealing with her injury. But as our discussion was, let's build you up and get you ready for conference, and we'll monitor it. And now we're finally in a position where she has been playing the last few games and has been feeling good. So we're right where we need her going into conference, and she's enjoying playing, and I can't ask for more there. So it's just about managing the players' needs and making them feel good when they step on the court.
Yeah, and how valuable is it to have a player like her and others, like even in Andrea, seniors, upperclassmen who have been with the program, helping with your acclimation into Georgia State in your first year as the head coach?
It's huge. They can set an example for the rest of the team. They help the newcomers with the transition, especially as we go into the conference. They're some of the only players that have played some of these teams and have played in the conference tournament. So being able to have some of that experience to share stories and what it's like to be under pressure or in certain moments, it helps my job and makes it a little easier as we get to our conference tournament and matches.
Yeah, and then looking at from the Alabama State match and seeing the results, Angel and Ellie were able to get a win. If I mispronounce her name, I apologize. But uh, Pragnya Kumar, your freshman, she was also able to get a singles win. What about her being able to get into the lineup and being a contributor for you?
Yeah, I mean, we call her Prague or PK. It's easier. Everybody calls her that. No, we are pretty deep, especially in the bottom half of the lineup. So it's great for me to be able to trust them and swap players in and out and give them opportunities to play, especially the freshmen. And I can't fault her. Every time she's played, she's stepped up, and she's a huge part of this team as well, and playing doubles with Eva in that line 3 position. And she's enjoying it. It's a good mix with Eva being the senior and Prague being that freshman. So it's a really great dynamic on the court to have that hunger and experience there.
I was going to ask about that because how is it having a freshman with upperclassmen, particularly a senior? They don't have that experience in match competition. You see doubles teams play for years together. How did that pairing start up? Is that something you saw during preseason training, that they'd be a good pair? Did they just have a connection during their training sessions? How do you pair a senior with a freshman?
I think I noticed, especially in practice and when we do different, we always do different double situations, different pairings, different drills, and their games and personalities really complement each other on the court. And it's really nice to see Eva take that leadership role with Pragnya, and Prague being so receptive to the doubles match and what Eva is saying. And Prague really enjoys playing doubles, so that's kind of her niche there with doubles.
Do you find that it's easier for because doubles is such a unique, I think, part of the game. Singles, you're on your own, you train on your own, you kind of do your thing. Do you think it's easier for upperclassmen to get adjusted to doubles, maybe compared to freshmen? I know they may played in prep or high school or in a club scene, but what's that adjustment like, you think, for underclassmen at the collegiate level to be in doubles competition?
Yeah, I think as obviously as the years go by, the experience in doubles is definitely key, and it's something that you do continuously learn. Especially when you get into these matches, because they only play one set, so you got to show up and show out straight away, and the pressure's there the whole time. So that's why I feel like both of them are a really good mix together. And I'm excited to see what they can do. And I think as each time they step on the court and they get more matches together, they're getting better. So that's all I can ask for there.
Yep, and then now you have conference play. You're supposed to play Coastal Carolina on the 12th, but just weather and travel issues, dude, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But we're still scheduled. You're still scheduled for Appalachian State on the 13th, the Open Conference play. How's it's just is that just part of the deal, because we're getting some bad weather in the southeast coming up? Is that just part of
Yeah.
tennis adjusting to the schedule and rolling with it?
Yeah, we're trying to get a makeup for hopefully Monday. If not,
Yeah.
it will be later in the season for Coastal. But as you know, Georgia, you never know what the weather's going to be like this time of the year. And unfortunately, there was no indoors available. Everybody seems to be trying to go indoors. And what we did have, it would still be really, really cold, and temperatures would be below what we're allowed to play in, really. So it's better that we move that one. I don't want them out there in that freezing cold. So yeah, now we get ready for Sunday, and we just adjust. We come out and compete against App State, and hopefully Coastal on Monday.
Yeah, and what have you seen from Appalachian State and Coastal, for that matter, so far this season? How are you able to scout these non-conference opponents? Have you been able to get access to some film? I mean, obviously you can see the results online, see can you kind of predict maybe who the lineup is going to be for the opponent? How's preparation go for
Yeah.
this?
We actually have the lineups in advance, pre-conference games. They do that the week before, so that helps me prep for the matches, to see who will be a good lineup with the girls that where I want to play my girls in what position I want to play them, and that they're both good teams. I think each match in the conference is going to be really competitive, and what more? We just come out and play our tennis, play how we can play on that day, and hopefully be feeling good afterwards. So we're ready, and we just keep building.
Yeah, well, I want to ask about that. I didn't know that you. So you have to have your lineup in for your conference matches the week before, so you already know who's going to be slotted in these matches this weekend.
Yes, so that's part of the preseason is really getting the lineup ready. And then the week before, each of the coaches from the different schools, we send our lineup in
Oh, okay.
to the conference. And then if any coaches have any issues, they can challenge the lineup, but there's no reason to have any issues. I haven't seen any challenges so far. And yeah, so we can see the lineup in advance, and that helps us prep the week
Yeah,
before the game.
I didn't know that. So if there's like an injury or a sickness or an emergency, do you just contact the coach
Yeah.
directly? Is that through the conference? How does that work?
Yeah, so because the conference now has our lineups, we still put it's not just 1 through 6. The lineup will go 1 through 8. So if there is an injury, we can just slot everybody up one position and go that way. So that way, no one is jumping from 6 to 1 or 3 to 6. It's done really fair that way.
Oh, okay, that's unique. I did not know that. So we learn something new every day with our conversations
There we go.
with you, Hannah. Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you for meeting with us in the middle of your schedule juggling, and hopefully we'll catch up later on in the season.
Thank you so much for having me. It's nice to see you, and I'll see you soon.
All right.